There's a couple of them that I found pictures on the internet, and I've just like cropped them or resized them into being an emote. Yeah, most of them are like that actually. So the only emotes that I've actually paid for making is the one for Sigmund. Yeah, Sigmund sipping, staring at you smugly as you kill yourself. Or I guess in this case, Bob and Alice. I wonder if Bob and Alice will die here. Wait a second. Binestalker can heal with Gosak Potion Petition? I guess it makes sense because if Mommy can do it, Binestalker may be able to do it as well. That's crazy. Wow, I can't believe that. Did you see that? This guy survived with 3 HP and 0 mana. Was surrounded by spiders. All thanks to the power of Gosak. Gosak is crazy. I cannot believe it. But anyway, enough of that and enough of my dancing Jiba emote or failed emote because I see it and it's like you see these shades. That's not how it's supposed to be. So it will definitely have to be fixed before I upload it. But anyway, let's resume the character. Hey, this time it loaded the first attempt. That's sweet. So we have our ancestor, we have Hep, we have like no HP because Jin and also Hep, but we have pretty decent spells. We have Starburst, Hailstorm, Orb of Destruction, Monstrous Menagerie, Spellforce Servitor. Like we have gotten some a wide variety of spells that normally you wouldn't really get. So I'm kind of surprised for that or by that. And yeah, this is so far it has been pretty straightforward. Like I just hide behind the ancestor and spam Hailstorm until things die. That's how I've been playing this character, and it's been going well. Yeah, you can potion petition if you get minus potion from refrigeration. That is, yeah, I assume that potion petition is just the effect of the potion. So it is pretty crazy if you think about it. Anyway, as you can see, this is really powerful. Um, and I am really, really happy with this character so far. Yeah, the last stream on Tuesday, the entirety of the playthrough was pretty much just sit here and or sit behind the ancestor and cast Hailstorm whenever things get close. Maybe cast um, Starburst, and on some very select occasions, I guess we have our Orb of Destruction. Of course, I haven't really been using Orb of Destruction a lot because I am wary of the possibility of my ancestor reflecting the Orb of Destruction. That would not be good at all. Um, so yeah, but it is fine. Like I still want to have it as an option, specifically for Orbs of Fire later on. You know how much I like to use that spell on Orbs of Fire. I think we are not gonna mess around with this guy. I think we're gonna leave it right there. Yeah, after all, the loot is pretty much worthless. Okay. I think I'm immune to sleep being a Jinn. Yeah, Jinn are immune to sleep, so I don't have to fear Dream Sheep nearly as much as I would have to with other characters. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that I don't have to fear them like at all. But yeah, the combination of Starburst and what is it called? Yeah, Hailstorm and Starburst. It's pretty good because they're like very different damage types, like cold damage and fire damage. There's very few things in the game that resist the two of them. And also, like, I guess the Starburst hits monsters that are right next to me, but doesn't hit in an area and can miss like Hailstorm. So yeah, they definitely have some. They haven't, or rather, what I should say is that they have like no overlap, and that's a pretty good thing. Um, okay, the two ghost crabs is like unexpected. You don't normally get the ghost crabs here in shoals. So having two of them, well, it is very obvious that it is a bolt, right? Because I was fighting a Spectral Kraken. Spectral Shoals Bolt, easy peasy. So the stream, the last stream on Tuesday, I found a ring, or rather an amulet of Acrobat with 10 intelligence. I got it from Acquirement, and everyone in the chat was like, "Oh yeah, I get that because 10 intelligence, right?" Before that, I was using just a regular amulet of Regen, and then between knowing about the Acquirement and actually getting it, I found this amulet of regen with 6 strength, and I was very happy with it. But I ended up acquiring the amulet of 10 intelligence anyway. Um, I'm okay with that. I don't have any issues with pleasing the chat every now and then. But if it was up to me, like, I think the correct thing to do with that acquirement was to acquire the Staff of Cold that I got offered instead, because currently I do not have any cold resistance and I'm using Hailstorm. So the Staff of Cold would enhance my Hailstorm and it would also give me cold resistance. So both of those things are pretty good, and I also already had a crazy amulet in the form of an amulet of regen with 6 strength. Of course, I am also using a scale mail of regen, so it is noticeably more protective than a fully enchanted throw letter armor, and this one also has resistance to negative, so slightly better. I like the loot that this character has gotten, by the way. I think the loot is pretty good. Yeah, I'm using the longsword for the 6 strength because I don't particularly care about its value as a weapon or the see invisible. I already have that. And of course, the minus stealth A is counteracted already, and B, I don't particularly care about stealth on a normal character. And this one is definitely not the exception. Yeah, I'll worry about stealth when I have to worry about stealth, which is usually not a thing that happens. Yeah. Of course, when it does happen, when I'm like, oh, I hope this guy doesn't notice me, like it's very noticeable, but that happens like once or twice per playthrough. It is really not a thing that happens often, at least for me. And that's probably because I build my characters in ways that I don't have to deal with stealth checks, because then I would just be mad if I just failed the evasion check or the stealth check. I guess it also applies for evasion, but I was really talking about stealth. Okay, shows is very easy once you've already done depths 1 through 4. And also, this character found 3 potions of experience, including one that I found and drank mid-combat. Normally I wouldn't do that, but with this character being a Gene of Hep, the level up turned out to be a nice thing to have mid-combat. Yeah, I know. Well, I remember that I leveled up to 19, and so the knight got his and a tower shield of reflection mid-combat, and it was super sweet. That's not a terrible ring. It is kind of bad that it. Oh, wait, I dropped something that I didn't want to drop. Um, yeah, the ring is like the slow is bad, right? Even if it's like a really low chance to get slowed, it will still happen and it will be bad for you. But resist corrosion with 6 intelligence, that's a pretty good thing to have. More spell power. I know that I am a fan of spell power. Okay, so far shows has been really easy. There's not been any close calls or anything, and that's how I like it. Hey, Kali Commuter, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Thank you so much. Have you noticed that now you have more emotes in my channel? Just today, just like a couple of hours ago, I got a notification from Twitch letting me know that now I have more emote slots as an affiliate. So now I have 9 emotes on tier 1, as opposed to the 5 that I had before. It's the greatest thing in the world. I guess I also have the follower emotes. I wonder if I should make some of those follower emotes into subscriber emotes. But who knows? I have to say that all the follower emotes were provided by Star Polemic. Star Polemic sometimes just draws and sends noodles. No, not noodles, doodles my way. Yeah, I wish Star Polemic sent noodles as well, as in pasta. I would appreciate some pasta right about now. I'm kind of hungry, not gonna lie. I've also like felt the need to consume some carbs for a while now, and I haven't done it. But yeah, I should indeed give in to the desire of the carbs. Probably tomorrow. Hungry gamer, yeah, that would be me. Oh, this one doesn't have a Titan. I was expecting a Titan for some reason, but no, it's all Frost Giants and Cyclopes. Probably, yeah, because I don't have cold resistance. So getting hit by frost giants would be very painful, and there's more than one of them. Fortunately, Starburst just like generates some opaque clouds, fog. Well, it actually generates steam because fire spell over deep water, and that's a very convenient thing to not die horribly here. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, easy peasy. The loot was absolutely worthless, but I cannot complain any less about my current loot. Like, my loot is amazing. I don't need anything else, except maybe for cold resistance. Like, I definitely would enjoy either replacing the globes or the shield for something that gives me cold resistance. Shields. No shields of cold resistance, which is understandable because they're also kind of rare. I remember that I have already gotten resistance to corrosion from the cloak, so I'm just gonna drop that ring. How's Hep working? Hep is quite possibly the best single god that you can get from a Fatal Altar as a monk. It is an incredible power spike as soon as you get it. Like the turn after you worship Hep from a Fatal Altar as a monk is like crazy. This I and it was the case for this character for sure. Like the only reason why this character is alive still is because I got Hep from a Fatal Altar. Um, Before Hep, I was like struggling so badly to do anything to any one monster, and after I got Hep, the situation got way better. And now, well, of course, I got to the point in the game where, regardless of Hep, I would still be strong. But without Hep, I don't think I would have gotten to this point in the game. Um, so yeah, the situation got a bit tricky there, but I fly and I can always do Starburst for blocking the line of sight. So yeah, I can just disengage very easily. Yeah, I like Hep. If you have never played Hep, Hep is probably not for every character, but it is a very powerful thing to have. Um, you get the Ancestor at 1 pip of piety, and I think you get to remember the background of your Ancestor at 3 pips. And of course, when you remember the background of your Ancestor, like it becomes way more powerful. For this particular character, even before, well, I went Hep, I got Warrior because or Knight, I think it is Knight. Yeah, because I needed someone to tank for me while I cast from the back row, and then after that, I got Hailstorm, and I was very pleased to have Hailstorm. So yeah, Hep was invaluable for this character. As I mentioned before, the only reason why this character is still alive is because of Hep. Um, but yeah, and even right now, like Hep is still a very important thing for this character to have. I have idealized to to like buff my ancestor, and also Shaper, who has won a fair amount of HEP characters, and Particle Face have recommended me to use Phantom Mirror on my ancestor whenever I idealize. So instead of having one idealized ancestor, I have two of them. That doesn't sound shabby at all. It sounds pretty good. Okay, kind of took a lot of damage there. Um, I think we can retreat. Yeah, just for safety. Or rather, it was not that I took a lot of damage. It's because I am a Jin, and so casting spells costs me HP. Just Jin things. Alrighty. That was the kind of fight where if I was not playing a Jin, I would have run out of mana like 5 turns before I got low enough on HP to be concerned about the situation. Just for context. In case you have never played Jin, the way it works is, as I mentioned, you don't have any mana and your spells are cast off your HP. And you would think, well, in that case, they probably have more HP than your average species, right? And the answer to that is no. They have a specific mutation that gives them 4 HP, but that's it. And this is obviously most impactful for experience level 1, but that's pretty much it. Because they needed it for experience level 1. After that, you are kind of more fragile than a human, especially a worshipper of HEP, because HEP also subtracts from your maximum HP 10%. Jin needs a big AoE damage spell. Hailstorm is pretty good. I wouldn't like Hail. Like, it's funny. I commented on it on Tuesday, but I guess I can repeat it. This character, or I have been trashing Hailstorm. Like, I've been trash talking Hailstorm for like a week before today, or before Tuesday, I meant. And it is really funny to me that I got Hailstorm after trash talking it so much, and that it has been like such a fundamental part of this character. But I also mentioned that it's only been that because I have HEP, and without HEP it would not be nearly as good. HEP allows me to position myself in a way where I can actually use Hailstorm. Like in order for Hailstorm to not be good, my ancestor needs to be dead because my ancestor is my meat shield and it blocks everything that comes or that tries to come my way. And if my ancestor is dead, we are already like in a not good position, and I should probably think about disengaging regardless. So it's like a pretty good synergy that I went HEP and that I immediately got Hailstorm after going HEP. Mm. I wanted to try to block the line of sight of the Javelineer with Hailstorm or with Starburst. That's why I used it there, even though it was not going to hit the Javelineer, but it was not really a thing that happened anyway. So yeah, this is the Storm Giant's Castle, I think, because of the Titan. I like this ending with the Titan. Yeah, it feels really good. I like when endings throw unexpected, dangerous things at you and make you think, well, that's not good. And this ending definitely does do that. Let's see what happens here. Oh, you know what? It's not terrible. Okay, we can drop this. I'm not gonna be using that anymore. I'm just gonna stick with my Staff of Cold. Twitch.tv/9settler. Alrighty. Yeah, I thought that I was going to need the strength to cast the spells, considering that I am using the scale mail. But fortunately, the amulet with 10 intelligence makes it not so necessary. Yeah, I'm very glad that I got that from here. It is an item that I really wanted. Right now, the Spell Enhancer doesn't really do much anymore. I'm already at full power with Hailstorm, and it's the only ice magic that I have. But it does provide me with a very important cold resistance. I should probably turn that off and turn on something else, like fighting. Yeah, I think I already got enough spell casting. I wonder what level 9 or level 8 I'm gonna get at experience level 25, which is very close. Yeah, at experience level 25, you're guaranteed to get a level 8 or a level 9, and then at experience level 27, you're guaranteed to get a level 9. So far, this character hasn't gotten a level 8, so we shall see what we end up getting. There was a thing that I wanted to get with this character, and that was Dragon Form because I have Manifold Assault, and Manifold Assault plus Dragon Form is my absolute most favorite thing to ever do in this game, as a Jin, of course. It is really, really strong, and you don't have the constraints of mana that normally bother Manifold Assault Dragon Form characters. It turns out that you cannot really spam a spell that is level 5. You only have so many casts per fight. But with a Jin, that's not really an issue. You have a bit more leniency when it comes to that, of course, as long as you're not taking any damage. But it was not to be with this character, and I'm still very pleased with what I currently have. It's not like I am struggling to play the game. And that has happened in the past, even with characters that I have won, and it is never a pleasant thing to be in the receiving end of. Okay. hmm Silver Javelin pierces through you but does no damage. I guess I got lucky there, but yeah, I probably shouldn't be in line of sight of the Javelineer. I'm trying, probably Idealize is a good thing to have here, or to do right now. Okay. You kill the Javelineer, not bad. Not bad. Your Jin is trying to win with 15 runes with Crystal Spear, Fridge, and Shatter. That's a pretty good spell set. I am personally not a big fan of Crystal Spear because it's a level 8 dual school spell that can miss and that only deals damage to a single target. To me, Crystal Spear seems really, really bad, but that is in a normal situation. For a Jin, it's not really that much of an issue because if you're training for your level 9, you have access to Crystal Spear, so might as well put it to use. Um, yeah, I would still not really like to use it that much because as I mentioned, I don't think it's good or good enough. Mm, but I guess, I mean, if you have it for free, I guess it's okay to have it as an option. Mm, okay. Frost Giant. Oh, it's Polyphemus. This recolors. I don't like the current color of Polyphemus. I'm gonna have to recolor Polyphemus to something else. Because the current color of Polyphemus is the color that I have for Frost Giants. I would like to remind you all that I play console. I don't play tiles. Yeah, that one time that I played tiles a couple of weeks ago, it was fun, but it's really not going to become a mainstay of my stream. As long as you can see tiles, that's all that really matters to me. Bypasses resistances, so it's pretty good for killing flying guys stuff. Yeah, for sure. Um, I didn't say that it was bad by any means. I do agree that it is a very valuable thing to have as an option, especially if it's for free, like it is the case with a Jin. Um, but yeah, like I don't. It doesn't give me the impression that you're doing it, but don't use it or don't put it on the quiver because if you put it on the quiver, chances are good that things are not going to go well for you. Um, yeah, just keep that in mind. Okie dokie. Not bad. I have the rune already, so I could theoretically just leave, but I wanted to clear it all. I think this is the first time that I have gotten this bolt. It's a new one, full level, full of monsters, with a titan in the middle and some not so terrible loot. We got the Staff of Cold, so can't complain about that. And now our resistances are looking pretty good. These are pretty fantastic resistances. Mm, 3 pips of willpower, 1 pip on everything else, 2 pips on fire resistance. Not terrible, not at all. Um, So yeah, I still kinda want better gloves and a better kite shield, but the rest of the things that I'm using are pretty much set in stone. Well, I guess maybe a better ring of willpower, like something that gives me 2 pips or some other bonus thing, like an upgrade, but I don't need it. It's just things that I would like to have to make the character even stronger. But completely unnecessary. So yeah, now we have rune number 2. I did do elf last stream. I don't know if I should do slime. I have 5 potions of mutation total in the game. I think I can afford to do slime. As long as I am careful and I use my ancestor to not get malmutated. Okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should go do depths and gain 1 level. We're kind of close to experience level 25. So the reason why I want to do that is because at experience level 25, as I mentioned earlier, I will have the knowledge of what my first, like, truly high level spell will be, level 8 or level 9. Huh, 53 out of nowhere. Are you Berserk? No, you're only Mighty. Okay, weird. Mm, okay. I could Curer you. I'm gonna Curer you. Ah, it missed. Okay, at least the Iron Troll is slow, so I can just like indefinitely walk away from it, or it would be the case, except for the fact that this Deep Troll is not slow. In fact, it's the opposite. So yeah, this situation is kind of annoying. Just your average entrance to depths. I'm gonna use a scroll of fear here. Okay, we fear everything. Airstrike for 20. We should be fine. I should be able to get out of here. There we go, easy peasy. So that's a pretty inconvenient entrance to depths. Yeah, going into depths and like immediately being in an open arena surrounded by monsters is A, messed up, and B, super common. So, so yeah, we just got like dealt a rough hand this time around. Gonna have to do a lot of stir dancing and hope that something like this doesn't happen. That is important. By the way, why is the Death Yak not Berserk? Um, Weird. Huge angry allies to wreak havoc. Yeah, summoned by the Spriggan Berserker, but not Berserk. I wonder if that's like a visual bug or something. It is not Berserk, right? It is not Berserk. Um, Let me take a screenshot of it real quick. There we go. Just for documentation purposes. And now I'm gonna go upstairs. And I hope that I don't take too much damage going upstairs. That's fine. It's perfectly manageable. We have a bunch of lava here, and we fly, so we can just walk towards here. And now everything dies. Literally everything dies. They cannot do anything about that. There we go. The power of permanently flying. It is ridiculous. Okay, yeah, it's gonna take a fair amount of stir dancing, unfortunately. But we can do the exact same thing to these monsters. There we go. So far, so good. I'm not liking this because it is only a matter of time until I go downstairs and I take like 100 damage. And then things are pretty bad. But I hope that it doesn't happen. Okay, never mind. Maybe it's looking like maybe I can actually get away with like actually entering the level finally. Fingers crossed. Alrighty. Yeah, we were surrounded by like 4 bands. And that's why entering the level was so difficult. There was also a dragon that I killed really fast. But yeah, too many monsters in the entrance to depths. At least it was not like the Enchantress or something really, really messed up. It was only a regular Spriggan band and deep trolls and ugly things, and it was something else, right? Hmm. Okay, there we go. I wonder if this guy swings faster. Yeah, I hadn't thought about it, but Broadaxe of Speed, does it do anything when a monster or after monster weapon attack delay changes? I actually have no idea if it does something. I hope that it does. I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep my eyes open for any turn where my ancestor attacks twice. That would be confirmation that it still works. Oh, oh, there we go. Ah, man, I cannot cast it, but I will cast it. I will cast it. Yeah, there's no maybe I will cast it. No, no, no. If you get Firestorm as a Jin, it's your duty to cast it. You have to do it. And it's just how it is. Okay. All right. How long did that last? Only 3 turns? That's fine. I wasn't so careful with that floating eye because there were no monsters surrounding it. So even if there was like a full maximal duration paralysis, we would have been okay. Which fortunately it was not a full duration paralysis, but I still think we would have been okay. Idealize? How hurt are you? Okay, maybe idealize. What's your chance to hex me? 1%. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Hello. Why are you over there? What happened there? No idea. Okay, Mr. Vampire Knight. How much evasion do you have? Not a lot. Maybe I can afford to. Yeah. Starburst is pretty sweet. So yeah. Now that I think about it, this guy has haste, right? So seeing my ancestor hitting twice per turn is not confirmation. Maybe if my ancestor is not hasted, I'm gonna have to keep an eye open for that. But yeah, the whole ancestor thing of Hep, pretty sweet. Having a permanent ally is quite convenient. I do wish that the AI for my permanent ally wasn't so lame. I feel like it's pretty lame nowadays, or the way that it is done. Okay. I guess I can just continue doing Starburst. Eventually, this guy's gonna die. Hopefully. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's like the third time in this whole playthrough where my ancestor has died, and it was against ugly things. To be fair, it was like Cyan ugly things. They probably got some good damage rolls. I guess that's what happens. Okie dokie. Yeah, I wonder how many uses uh, of Starburst I'm gonna have by the time this is over. I am guessing. In fact, let's just see here. Um, okay, how many uses of Starburst do we have, or not Starburst, Hailstorm do we have already? Just for sheer curiosity. Hailstorm. Oh wow, it's a lot more than I thought. It's 1600. 1624. That's a lot of uses of Hailstorm. I thought that it was gonna be like 800 or something, but no, 1624. I've been using it like crazy ever since I got it, and I got it at like experience level 9 or something, maybe 11. Hold on, I think I can also. Oh yeah, okay, I did get it at experience level 9 because it appears between 7 and 9, and I know that I didn't get it at experience level 7. So yeah, wow, it's crazy. Okay. We are done with Depths 1, so Depths 1 is a very difficult level, but fortunately we were able to survive it, no big deal. Yeah, the issue with Depths 1 is that you can get a nasty layout like the one I did, and then things get pretty complicated for you and your character because you cannot like stair dance or just go down different stairs. Well, I guess you can stair dance. I did do exactly that. So you can stair dance, but it is complicated. You can never go down different stairs to try to enter depths. So you kind of rely on like a generous entrance to depths, and that is very easy to fix, to just like not rely on level generation, and someone, probably me, should make some depths entrance bolts that are like maybe difficult but not absolutely insane as they are right now. I'm gonna continue training spellcasting because I do want to cast some firestorms. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, if you get Firestorm as a Jin, it's like your duty to cast it. Wow. Okay, that was a lot of damage. I am a bit surprised that I took a lot of damage during that fight against those Spriggans. Oh, I guess that's it's like accumulated damage from fighting the stone giant. When I started fighting the Spriggans, I was at 126 HP. So during this fight, I lost like 80 HP. Of course, not taking into account the damage that I've inflicted upon myself by casting spells. Mm, okay. Oh no. Oh no, that's not good. I need to rest, please. I need to rest. At least now I have resistance, so the frost giant is not nearly as scary as it was before. Am I resting in front of like a nasty bolt or something? That's probably what's happening. Okay, Mr. Fire Dragon, I think I can kill you. I know that I can kill you easily at full HP, but yikes. Yeah, I still have 2 pips of fire resistance, so the Fire Dragon doesn't really scare me that much. I guess I'm gonna drink my only heal wounds to like have a bit of leniency and to not have to use blinking or something. I know I can tell you for sure that your last heal wounds is way less valuable than your first of 8 scrolls of blinking. Way less valuable. Um, Blinking is just incredibly more powerful than heal wounds, especially at this stage of the game. But yeah, truly, at any stage of the game, I would rather just drink heal wounds than use a scroll of blinking. If I have the choice between the two of those, if the two of those would save me, I would definitely go for drinking heal wounds first. But do keep in mind that there are some situations where even if you have heal wounds and blinking, you may want to blink before drinking the heal wounds. And that kind of situation is when you drink heal wounds and you still take a bunch of damage and you don't even heal anything. Instead of that, you take a little bit of damage. So the entirety of the damage um, from the heal, or the entirety of the curing from the heal wounds was counteracted, and in addition to that, you also took a little bit more damage. That's the kind of situation where you want to blink, even if you have the potion of heal wounds to theoretically not have to blink. Probably shouldn't have Cure Earth the Etin right next to me. Yikes. Okay, I'm not liking this. This is a bit too many monsters, a bit too many scary monsters. And yeah, I'm at 2 digits HP, so I'd rather just retreat. Better to notice the danger as soon as it happens than than continue fighting and think, oh yeah, I can just kill everything, no big deal, and then be stuck in a very awkward situation where you may have to blink. Um, the best way to preserve your blinking is to recognize that kind of situation where you would probably have to blink. Wow, 3 ice dragons. That's kind of nasty because these are not the kind of dragons that I can resist pretty well. I only have 1 pip of resistance, but fortunately they also cannot resist me pretty well. They're weak to fire, and I have I have starburst, so yeah. This so far seems like a truly nasty depth level. Yeah, with all the high level monsters that we have seen so far, like that Quicksilver Dragon, it is not something that normally spawns here, so this is definitely a bolt. Manual of Bows, I'm not particularly interested in that. I like my shield. Okay. With Hailstorm, or rather with Starburst, it is a matter of positioning the monsters for the Starburst to hit as many monsters as you can. Just for mana efficiency, you can cast it in an inefficient way, but it can be pretty dangerous, especially for a Jhin. For a Jhin, you kind of do want to be mana efficient, and by that I mean not casting Hailstorm or Starburst. I mix them up so much. I wonder why, without any targets. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want Ice Blast here for that because it's too far away from me. Alrighty. Yeah, but for now, that is because I already have Firestorm, so all that I really have to do is to survive until Firestorm, and then we can put Firestorm on the quiver and win the game with that. Yeah, Firestorm is a really fantastic spell. Probably one of my favorite spells, but much to my dismay, very much to my dismay, Firestorm is also level 9 dual school, so that's about as expensive as it will ever get for a spell. And that makes it really complicated to cast on any normal character. Okay. Living spells have a lot more HP before, and so anything that put living spells on the board was super dangerous. But fortunately, they got nerfed into being reasonable. Yeah, I before I did think that they were pretty unreasonable enemies to be fighting against. Now, not so much, fortunately. So I was able to kill the living spells when I fought against that tome with Hailstorm. I knew that with the tome being next to me, the living spells were very likely to be placed in a position where I could kill them with Hailstorm, so I was not particularly worried about them. Mm, Ooh, and nice. Another potion of resistance. Because while I do have pretty good resistances for fighting any given band that generates in depths, I would like to have 3 pips of resistance for Sot and maybe even for Draconian bands, considering how they all deal high amounts of elemental damage in their own kind. Specifically the White Draconians. Let me show you. White Draconian. Yep, 3 dice of 28 cold breath. And this is like a normal monster. It's not particularly rare or employed. It's just a normal. It's like a Nork in early D, except that it has 3 dice of 28 cold breath. So it is kind of important to have resistance to cold if you're going into SOT. You can kind of get away with not having it. You can get away with not having most things in this game if your tactics are solid enough. But my general recommendation is to just try your best to get that resistance before going into SOT. Of course, I like my 2 pips of fire resistance, 1 pip of cold resistance, resistance to electricity, and resistance to poison before going into SOT. Ooh, this would be interesting if it didn't have intelligence -5. But yeah, Archmagi as a brand art property is pretty sweet. I like that change. Yeah, I hope that eventually I find like a plate of Archmagi or something cool like that. Something makes me think that my ancestor is gonna die if I don't idealize here. Okay. Idealized back to not full HP. Yeah, but very close to. Okay. For the Golden Dragon, I think I'm gonna recall. And I'm gonna go for Orb of Destruction. Okay, big damage on the Golden Dragon. Hailstorm to kill. We get gold scales, but of course the characters that don't particularly care about gold scales are the one that get them in the first attempt. While on the other hand, I've had my fair amount of trolls and minotaurs and other kinds of characters just like struggling for their lives trying to find gold scales. Mm, okay, I'm gonna need my guy to tank a hit from the Juggernaut. Gonna need my ancestor to tank a hit from the Juggernaut, please. No? You're not gonna do it? Okay, I'm gonna recall here. Hide behind you. Lucius blocks the Juggernaut's attack ×2 because monsters with shields are absolutely insane. If you see a Juggernaut, throw Curer at it like almost immediately. That's my recommendation. They're weak to poison, or they're not poison resistant. I guess it's like a slight difference. Weak to poison and not poison resistant. It is susceptible, I guess you can put it like that. So it doesn't take any extra damage or anything, but it also doesn't resist it. And if it doesn't resist poison, you can easily slow the Juggernaut in this case with Curer. Ouch, that's not good. Oh, phew. I thought that this guy may have Firestorm because I have Firestorm, but I guess fortunately for me, this guy doesn't have Firestorm. Mm, okay, mana shouldn't really be that difficult. Let's see here. Okay, so mana is very resistant to fire from default, but he also has a robe of fire resistance, so pretty much don't even attempt to do anything related to fire to mana. I guess we have Hailstorm and the Orb of Destruction. Okay, I'm gonna cast an Spellforged Servitor here. Oh, 9 Settler's Illusion, summon a Sphinx. Okay, 2% paralyze. With some luck, it won't paralyze me. Oh no. Oh no, that's not good. My illusion or my Spellforged Servitor hit my ancestor with an Orb of Destruction. That's tragic. Bows is such a weird path. You're not sure what you would go that direction unless your species could train it really well. Bows are crazy powerful. I guess I haven't showcased bows in a while, but they're really, really, really strong. It's like a battle axe. Like a longbow has the base damage of a battle axe, um, but it can hit the full screen. It is crazy. Item longbow. Yeah, base damage 15, base attack delay 1.7. And now let's compare that to a battle axe. Base damage 15, base attack delay 1.7. The difference, of course, is that the battle axe hits everything that's next to you, and the bow hits one monster, but the one monster can be literally on the other side of the screen. It's so good. Like, bows are incredible. I greatly, greatly recommend everyone to give bows a try if you have never used them. Ouch. What happened there? I got smitten for 15. It was not quite 15 because I was casting things. Okay, I see 3 manas almost dead. Not bad. Okay, okay. That was a lot of damage that we inflicted to Mara pretty fast. Oh, look at that. Chainmail of Plug. Harm. Okay, that's a pretty good name. In case you don't know, Plug is what the name generator falls back into if it fails to generate a name for one reason or another. So yeah, you will see Pandemonium Lords named Plug, or books named Plug. Of course, Randarts named Plug. Plug is prevalent. I should have a plug emote, but I don't know what I could make it. Maybe it could be an animated emote if I ever make it to partner and I have access to more animated emotes, where it just like cycles between a book and a panlord and random things that the game can name block. That is a good idea. I should write it down. Yeah. Um, right now, when it comes to animated emotes, I really don't have the budget to commission like an animated emote, so I'm just gonna go with the Jiva altar. Mm, I also don't know if I should even like think about commissioning an animated emote. What could it be apart from what I already mentioned, the plug emote? Hmm. You guys got any ideas for an animated emote related to my stream? Because I know that apart from that plug emote, I do not. Huh, I think I remember this bolt. I think this bolt has good stuff inside, but it could also be really dangerous. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Like, let's see. There's that longsword because I think the reason why I cannot cast Firestorm is because I have only 10 strength and I am using scale mail. If I put on that, yeah, it actually becomes kind of castable. The summons are too deep. The summons are too deep. Oh yeah, I have too many summons. Yeah. This character has crazy amounts of summonings. Like I have Monstrous Menagerie, Spellforce Servitor, I have Summon Nydra and the Ancestor. It is, in my opinion, kind of tragic that I got these two level 7 summons. If it was up to me, one of them would be Dragon Form and the other one would be like Refrigeration or something, and then this character would use those because as it is right now, like I think I cast Monstrous Menagerie once, and I haven't cast Summon Hydra even once. But at least I have other crazy good spells like Orb of Destruction. Of course, I've been using Hailstorm and Starburst a lot, and now Firestorm. We're very close to Firestorm. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that there, and I'm gonna put that here. And if I ever need the cold resistance, I can always wield that. I lose Firestorm, but it should be okay. If I need the cold resistance, I probably won't mind losing Firestorm. Now we can probably go do Slime. No, I think I wanna continue Depths. I'm gonna do the entirety of Depths, and then I'm gonna do Slime, and maybe Bolts 5 as well. Mm, I don't know. This seems kind of sketchy. This seems like something that I shouldn't open. Let's still open it and see what happens. Okay, I am not afraid of the slime of the acid blobs rather because I have acid resistance, so it is okay. That's a lot of damage. Alrighty, a mummy. Huh. Well, that is ominous because mummy could mean royal mummy, and royal mummy means danger. Ball lightning. Spicy. Okay. I wanted to trigger the ball lightning to make it hit the Reaper, but it didn't happen. Yeah, Reapers deal a lot of damage very consistently. Among the major demons, they're probably ones of the most dangerous ones. Yeah, because they just like hit you really hard very consistently, as opposed to something like a Balrog who can smite you. I feel like the Reaper just has smite, but it just hits for more damage than smite. Okay. You hear strange and distant voices. Okay. I thought that death curses were marked, but probably not. Okay. This is an interesting combination of monsters. Mummy priests and ball lightning and orcs and stuff like that. Quite unusual, I have to say that. Okay, my ancestor is almost dead, so we're gonna wait out my ancestor's HP. That's fine. How much? Um, okay, immune to poison, negative energy, torment, resistant to fire and cold. I would expect my ancestor to have more resistances than that. Like maybe 2 pips of fire and cold resistance, resistance to electricity, but I guess they are not supposed to be unkillable, the ancestors. Another? Well, that's probably a shapeshifter, so better get rid of it instead of waiting until it shifts into something that's actually dangerous. What is with this monster selection? Like adders and goblins and Nagaraja and ball lightning, reapers, mummy priests. I am very concerned with the monster selection. It is very ominous that we are seeing so many weak monsters. I wonder if it's like monsters that used to be here got removed from the game and the game is just like replacing those monsters with trash. That sounds like a thing that could be the case. Okay, not bad, not bad. 19% Firestorm, we're almost there. What does it have? Maybe it has something interesting. Okay, I thought that maybe it had something like a Fustiva Luz of electrocution or something like actually fun. But no, it seems to have trash. Okay, do I cast Firestorm here? I think I'm gonna do it. First cast of Firestorm. Hey, look at that! I haven't cast this in a while. Oh man, you love to see the explosion. Hey, Bicross. Good evening. Good to see you around. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream as much as I have been enjoying this character. Yeah, it's been a pretty good character, not gonna lie. Okay. Yeah, we got nothing from doing this. Nothing, I say. I don't need that. Let me drop it. Okie dokie. I feel rather underwhelmed. I thought that it was gonna be much larger of a vault because there was like um, a huge area without anything, but no, it was not the case. Let's go do depths 4 because I can Firestorm, but I would like to not have 20% chance to miscast it. I feel like it is. Oh no! Oh, I went to dungeon 4 by accident. Yeah, sorry for that. Let's go to depths 4. Ring of positive energy. Let's drop it. I do not need that with most characters. Yeah, the only place where I would consider having that is in Crypt, and that's about it. Okay, I'm gonna buy these two because they're pretty cheap. And what else am I going to do with my money in the final level of the game that can generate shops? Well, I guess Bolt 5 can also generate shops. But you know what I meant. Cigarettes. With Firestorm, I could do one cigarette. Probably not the entirety of it, but I could consider it. Now that halberd is a pretty nice sky weapon, 3 pips of fire resistance. Not for my character. If it was 3 pips of cold resistance, I would think about it. But my character already has all the fire resistance that it needs. I like how the final level of the depths has like so many shops. It is indeed quite a convenient thing to happen. Mm, okay, who needs Firestorm when you have Hailstorm, I guess? Ouch. Yeah, I completely forgot that I don't have cold resistance anymore. And not having cold resistance makes a frost giants into dangerous monsters. Fingers crossed for finding some good gloves or shield of cold resistance. Let me buy this. And maybe also the potions of 3. You know, I could use them against Curstos because Curstos Torment and 3 form is immune to Torment. Let me wield my Sword of Firestorm again. Firestorm. Oh, you miscast Firestorm. I guess it's understandable. Okay. So far, hiding behind the Ancestor has been working quite well for this character. Okay, there we go. Not bad, not bad at all. Oh, I don't want to get hit by Firestorm. On some characters I wouldn't mind, but this character cannot afford to get hit so hard because it's like losing a bunch of mana. Something pretty cool is that your ancestor cannot get hit by anything that you do. So I can liberally Firestorm with no issues whatsoever. And that is indeed a very pleasant thing to have. Okay. Nice, 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 nice. Pretty good. Did we get more gold scales? Yeah, I tell you, like it's only the characters that don't care about gold scales, the ones that actually find all the gold scales. Okay. Orb of Destruction is a fantastic thing to do against these Draconians because it doesn't check any of the Draconian resistances, it just does damage, as long as it hits, of course. But yeah, it very frequently hits. If you cast it from a distance, it is almost guaranteed to hit. Unless the monster does that, of course. Mm, yikes. I am always surprised at the damage output that Spark Wasps have, even if you have the resistance. Like, they seem to just like destroy you. Whether or not you have the resistance, they seem to me like they deal the same damage. And I know that it is not really the case because of the way the resistance work, but still, who knows? Okay, we found a bookshop. The only thing that we could get from a bookshop on this character would be a manual. So fingers crossed for a good manual. Oh, okay, it's a manual of tapes. That is not what I would define as a good manual. I would definitely enjoy some of the books that were in that shop if I could get them, but not as a Jin. Jins don't have access to that kind of thing. There's a shiny buckler here on the floor. I was expecting a buckler of cold resistance. I would definitely use it if I had one. Um, so I guess that's all the experience that we are gonna get. 14% chance to miscast Firestorm. It's not terrible. I guess we can do it. Let's go do Slime to get my rune number 3 with Firestorm. And after that, we can also do Bolts because we have Firestorm. I know that I want to get to experience levels 27, so I know what other level 9 I get. Um, we got lucky with an experience level 25 level 9 spell because it can be a level 8 or a level 9, and it just happened that this time it was a level 9 spell. Okay, Shining Eye. Better be careful with it. Oh, okay, it gave me clarity. Cannot complain about that. Okay, where's the downstairs? Always go down, don't explore, because if you explore, you put yourself at risk of finding and therefore having to deal with shining eyes. And that's the real like killer of doing this, the shining eyes. Mm, okay, I don't like the rock slime. Yeah, nice mutation, clarity. Cannot complain about that. I will take it. Okay, Firestorm. Good stuff. So unfortunately, rock slimes are very resistant to fire. In my opinion, they should have not 2 pips of fire resistance, maybe only 1. But yeah, oh yeah, I don't care about that. Um, okay. It is distracted with my ancestors, so that's the perfect opportunity to step away and go for Hailstorm. Yeah, I am surprised that I've been using Hailstorm so much with this character. I have over 1600 casts of Hailstorm already. By the time I end, I wouldn't be surprised if it was close to 2000, if not actually 2000. So something funny about Firestorm is that it's one of the few spells in the whole game that can hit enemies from outside the screen. Like if the enemy cannot see you, but you know what it is, you can just cast Firestorm, and if the explosion was to hit outside of the screen, it actually does hurt the monster. It is insane. Very unique thing. and theoretically very powerful. But since it's a level 9 spell, like it doesn't quite follow the rules of the game. You found Hailstorm a surprisingly powerful spell for being in the starter book. It is dual school, and it also requires a bunch of setup. I personally do not like Hailstorm. It's only been good for this character because this character has a permanent ally that it can hide behind, and that makes it good. Between Frozen Ramparts and Hailstorm, I felt like a really strong start. I is quite probably the best start in the game as it is right now. It gets ridiculously powerful single school spells in the form of Osokubu's Armor, Hailstorm, or not Hailstorm, Frozen Ramparts and Freeze. And it also gets very powerful low level spells. Um, yeah, did I repeat that? Yeah, they're single school and they're low level. So the experience investment in order to be a powerful ice elementalist is like super low. And that gives you a lot of freedom to train fighting or to train other spell schools, depending on what you find, or to train a weapon. Yeah, they get really powerful really fast because their spells are so cheap. Also, Freeze is crazy. Freeze is quite probably the best level 1 spell in the game. If you're wondering why I say that, it is a level 1 spell that doesn't check armor class or evasion or shield at a point in the game where compare that to meleeing monsters. It feels like melee in the early game is a coin flip, and that it only takes one bad fight or one bad hit when you're fighting another for you to die horribly. Yeah, Ice Elementalists are the mages that have that issue the least. Because other mages are kind of susceptible to that regardless of their magic. Um, Sometimes you get into pretty complicated situations as mages, as a mage early in the game. Um, but Ice Elementalist has pretty much guaranteed damage in the form of freeze. Alrighty, I just remembered the existence of Azure jellies. Gonna have to keep that in mind. You feel like on that were kind of challenging for Ice Elementalists to deal with until Hailstorm gets you up and running. Yeah, that's one way to deal with Undeath. I personally prefer to get a weapon by that point because um, you kind of have that option. And Hailstorm is very cumbersome to use with the whole. Oh no, am I dead? I might be dead here. Let's see what happens. Okay, it didn't happen. Paralyzed by a floating eye for 2 turns. The Azure Jelly hits you but does no damage times 4. That could have ended really, really bad, but fortunately it did not. So now let's just Firestorm that floating eye in retaliation. Mm, okay, that went well. So yeah, I guess I don't have to fear Azure Jellies because they're weak to fire, so I can just like Firestorm them. Early white bands, yeah, early white bands suck. You can kind of get away with dealing with them as an ice elementalist just by pressing Tab in Osokubu's armor because Osokubu's armor is like amazing. That's the reason to play an ice elementalist. That and Frozen Ramparts, I feel. Oh no, I miscast Firestorm. What was the chance to miscast? 10%. I guess so. Okay. I greatly enjoy that your ancestor cannot be hurt by your spells. It is so good. Especially for a character that is using Firestorm. If I had gotten Polar Vortex, well, I guess I can still get Polar Vortex. It's not like I cannot get it anymore. I could get it for my final level up. But yeah, regardless of what I get, I will be able to use it without hurting my ancestor, and that's really, really fantastic. So yeah, Fire Vortex. Oh, there it is, the Royal Jelly. Okay, maybe I should drink Brilliance, just so I don't bleed myself as much. Firestorm. Oh, I miscast Firestorm. Wow, that's unfortunate. Okay. A Royal Jelly spits out another. Oh, wait. Spits out 6 more jellies because it shuddered alarmingly because I dealt a lot of damage with Firestorm. Maybe I should read Immolation as well. Yeah, just so I have more explosions. Okie dokie. Yes, that's right. The rock lime explodes. The royal jelly explodes. By the way, I mentioned this at the very start of the stream, but I know that pretty much no one is at the very start of, or no one is here at the very start of the screen. But I am going to be making this into my first and only animated emote. Of course, not as it is, because obviously it doesn't work just yet. Um, but I will figure out how to fix that, hopefully on GIMP, and I will upload that as my animated emote. I am so excited to have Jiva's altar. In fact, I'm so excited that I'm gonna have it there, just like in remembrance of Jiva. Um, it seems that I have some messages in WebTiles. Let's check them out. Interact. Haha, but I don't ever go Jiva. I do not. But Jiva is cool. How did you switch between ASCII and tiles on the fly at the start of the stream the other day? Well, I also did that at the start of this stream. So I think the command is this. I think the command is this. This is what I'm. Yeah, take a look at that clip that I made. It will explain all that you need to know regarding that. We got Dragon Skull. People like Dragon Skull as Jin. I don't like it because I feel like it bleeds you too much. But if we are completely honest, those people also say that there's like no monsters that can survive being stormed by dragons in a 3-room game, and they are absolutely correct. So I'm like, level 9s are level 9s. Like, there's no bad level 9. All of them are really good. Some of them more situational than others. Like, for example, I would say that Shatter, for being a spell that just deals damage to everything on the screen, is kind of situational. It doesn't do much against monsters that fly or are insubstantial or gelatinous. Um, Thanks, no problem. Yeah, anytime you just need to ask, and I will try to answer to the best of my ability. That is kind of the whole thing when it comes to this stream. I also try to anticipate questions by including the answers in my commentary and stuff. Mm. So I guess that's why people don't ask that much. Yeah, I've always seen people who stream being annoyed at questions, or and I think that they like the look that they have, or the attitude that they have regarding questions is kind of like the wrong one. Like or earlier today, I was seeing a Noita streamer being kind of annoyed at questioning, but it was what I thought, and I didn't comment on it because the streamer was kind of annoyed already, and I didn't want to like stoke the flames. Um, I thought that the reason why people were asking was like just to understand what you're doing more than to try to backseat you or something. But I didn't mention it. I wonder if I should have. Um, but anyway, whenever people ask me things on stream, that's the mindset that I always have. Like, they're asking because they don't know what I'm doing, or something along those lines, and they want to know. Oh, that's a pretty beast ring, you know? That is a crazy good ring. I am gonna carry it because it is like insane. I'm gonna drop the Fustivalus. I'm never gonna use it. Yeah, this thing has all the things that I could possibly want on a different character. This character only needs the cold resistance, and of course, I will always appreciate having more armor class. But yeah, I don't care about the Slay, I don't care about the Resist Corrosion, and unfortunately, my two rings are for Evasion and Cold Resistance and Willpower. And this thing doesn't have Willpower. If instead of having Resist Corrosion it had Willpower, I would immediately put it on. I'm still gonna carry it around because it is an amazing ring, but I cannot put it on, and I wouldn't really get much out of using that ring, regardless, because I don't have tab with this character. Yeah, I have zero. Well, I guess I have three long blades because it's what I started the game with, and I started training long blades when I got like a port, and I got some nasty spells to begin the game with. Like I got a port, EH, um, and pass wall. Those were my first three spells in that order. Gonna pop off for tonight, of course. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a nice rest of your night. Bye, Cross. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. Okay, that's the opposite of what I wanted when I said globes of willpower. These are globes of negative willpower, but yeah, they were just one symbol away from being good globes. It's so tragic. I will leave it there. Yeah, I will leave those globes on the floor because they're pretty much unusable. Yeah, I don't have enough willpower to afford not having a Ring of Willpower on. I think Jean gets 3 willpower per level up, but anyway, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna do Bolts 5 because I can. Yeah, I also have Firestorm, so what fun is Firestorm if you're not gonna be casting it on Bolts 5? Okay, I'm gonna train armor a bit more so I can actually cast Firestorm. I think the book, or I think it's not quite as low as I can get it with training spell casting, but there's not much point in training spell casting, I think. We know about these guys, so I'm gonna read Immolation, and then I'm gonna Firestorm, and it's gonna be fun. That seems like a good targeting for Firestorm. Yeah, that's definitely fine. Let's see how many explosions we get. I think I only killed like one or two of them with the initial cast of Firestorm, but it's probably enough to cause a chain reaction and severely hurt or kill about half of them, it seems. I think all the ones that actually got hit by Firestorm died, except maybe for this one and this one. Now, if I had Blink, this would be the perfect time to do it. I unfortunately do not possess that skill. So I am tempted to use a Scroll of Linking just to reposition. And then I can Firestorm again and I win. I win the fight, I mean. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, better be preemptive when it comes to these things. You know, before I Firestorm, I'm gonna use another Potion of Brilliance because I think this is gonna be a very long fight, and Brilliance will make me use less HP. Okay, pretty good. That dealt a lot of damage. Not bad at all. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. In fact, it's looking so good that my ancestor is still only lightly damaged. How much HP does my ancestor have? Probably around 100. 110. Take a look at that. And a lot of armor class and willpower. So almost impossible to hex my ancestor. It also has haste and a tower shield. Like, it is a crazy good ally to have Ancestor Knight. This is my first game ever with Ancestor Knight, and I am enjoying it a fair amount. Okay, so I like doing bolts 5 with Firestorm. It is the greatest thing because normally you don't have the damage output or the raw firepower to fight the entirety of the ambush, as I just did. So whenever you can do that, it's like great. Okay, I'm gonna try to Firestorm here. Pretty good. Let's go one more time. Firestorms for 4 HP. It feels sweet. I am wondering about Spider. Has a Spider always been silent, or is that a new thing? You're glad you're catching this one? Yeah, at the end of the Gene of Hep, we got Firestorm, obviously. We also got Dragon Skull, but I haven't cast Dragon Skull a single time. I only just got it, to be completely fair. And Firestorm is Firestorm. Like, it's probably one of my favorite spells in the whole game, and I never get to use it because it's so ridiculously expensive. So I know for sure that I am going to use it this time around. Dragon Skull is pretty fun. Yeah, swarming your enemies in dragons is quite an enjoyable feeling, but I prefer to just directly make them explode in 2 turns, other than the subtlety of summoning allies to try to make them kill my enemies. Mm, okay, so far so good. Alrighty, I am very glad that I decided to drink Brilliance. Oh, I miscast Firestorm, finally, 7%. I've already cast a fair amount of Firestorm, so you know what, I take it. I find it completely understandable. Let's see what happened there. What dealt damage? Oh, Yactor Captain shot a bolt. Somehow it got a line of fire against me. Um, I don't know if I should kill the Yactor Captain. Probably I should kill the Demonologist. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for killing the Demonologist before it summons something truly nasty. Okay. Oh yeah, Firestorm versus Bolts 5 is like amazing. We've also gotten pretty lucky that nothing has come this way. If there had been like a random band of something coming this way, other than the ugly things that I pretty much killed with 2 Firestorms, if something were to flank me right now, this would be more dangerous. You got the Jiva altar up? Yeah, I made it into a GIF. It doesn't quite work, as you can see. I don't know how to do it correctly, but I am investigating. I was looking into that right before the stream started because I got a notification that said that now affiliates get more emote slots. And yeah, take a look at your emotes. If you're subscribed, take a look at your emotes in my channel, and you will see that you have a lot more than what you had before. We got 4 more emote slots for subscribers, and I am really happy with that. Yeah, I'll figure it out for sure. Whenever, like, it's not difficult. If you think about it, we have, or like, we live in a wonderful age where we literally have the entirety of humanity's like knowledge at our disposal, like a compendium of humanity's knowledge in the form of the internet. So it is only a matter of actually using it, and I know for sure that I am pretty good at using it. I've been using it since since like since I was a kid, pretty much. Like when I was a kid and I played video games and I got stuck, I wasn't just like staring at the screen trying to figure it out. Whenever I truly got stuck, because I know some games the point is to get stuck and then unstuck yourself, get yourself unstuck. That's probably how you say it. Yeah, some video games the point is to get yourself unstuck. But when I got stuck on video games where I felt like that wasn't the case, I always resorted to the internet. So yeah, I'm just very used to the internet. Yeah, we have Hydras now. I had the Hydras before. I think that's like also an old Hydra tile, but it still looks kind of cool. Ooh, I am low on HP. Fortunately, this is a Dread Lich. It's not really the dangerous kind of Lich. It could be an Ancient Lich, and that one would be significantly more scary to be fighting against with 48 HP. Okay, let's see here. What do you have? No launcher, so I'm not too worried. Should get the pig tile. Oh yeah, I should add the pig tile as a follower emote. Oh, that's a good idea, Shaper. I'm definitely gonna be doing that when the stream ends. Mm, for now, as I suspected, there was too much fight for my fragile Jin. Okay, my brilliance effect ran out like 3 turns ago, so no wonder I am so low on HP. I completely missed that. That's an issue. Now, I think I could blink away and drink heal wounds, maybe 2 of them, also brilliance, and like continue firestorming. And I think that is the correct thing to do. I'm not gonna play it safe with my scrolls of blinking. After all, I have a lot of them. Heal wounds, brilliance. Okay, and now we continue the storming with the firing. Yeah, it is way more noticeable that you can hit things from outside your line of sight with Firestorm when you're going Behemoth. This might be one of the first times where I get Firestorm without Behemoth. And it seems that my ancestor died and I didn't really notice. I wonder if my ancestor is alive. Yeah, Recall Ancestor is grayed out, so I cannot. It's not alive at the moment. But it is fine because my ancestor was kinda the thing that carried me to this point, and now I am pretty much autonomous, independent. I guess independent is a good way to put it. Ooh, miscast of Firestorm, and I get hit for 42. You love to see it. Yeah, Yoctors are so good at ignoring your defenses and just hitting you pretty hard for no good reason. I think I want to use Fear here. Fear is almost guaranteed to fear the Yoctor. It does. And now Ambrosia could be a thing. Hmm. I have 37 evasion, so I am confident enough to complete the Ambrosia channel. Not bad. Righty, this already went for way longer than I feel comfortable with, not gonna lie. I think I'm actually fighting the entirety of the level. Okay, please do your thing, Mr. Knight. Oh yeah, it is pretty sweet that the ancestor has a tower shield of reflection. It feels like you're hiding behind the ancestor and the ancestor is just reflecting all those large rocks and iron shots and orbs of destruction back at their senders. Um, that was that a one shot? I don't know if it was, but I think it was. Okay, these guys are at full HP for sure. Well, now they're not at full HP. Um, okay, a goblin and a titan. Of course, it is a goblin shapeshifter, but funny thing to see a goblin here. Okay, I'm gonna try to retreat into the corner of the level. It seems that I won the fight, and I would be surprised if there were many more monsters um, in the rest of the level. Okay, not bad. So something that I just thought of earlier on the stream is that what happens with speed brand on monsters now that all monsters swing at 1.0 delay? Like, does it actually do something for monsters? I personally don't think I've noticed, and I don't know if it's like just flavor text for this night or what. Yeah, imagine if it didn't do anything. That would be so lame. Okay, more Firestorm. I'm not even at full HP, but it's fine. Speed and Haze hit really hard. Yeah, they hit very frequently. A lot of actions per turn. Where's my Ancestor? Okay. Sweet. So many hits by the Ancestor. Ancestor HP restored? Did I just see that line of text? I think that's the first time I see that line of text. I don't particularly care about resting off the Ancestor's HP, but I guess it's nice that the game does do you a solid and tells you, hey, the Ancestor is good to go. Okay. I should probably quiver Firestorm. Yeah, with how much I've been casting it, I should probably quiver Firestorm. Oof. It feels funny to have Firestorm on the quiver, not gonna lie. It feels irresponsible and dangerous. And it's not even the first time I have Firestorm on the quiver as a Jin. But yeah, it always feels like something that you shouldn't do because you're likely to press it one too many times and be stuck at like 30 HP. Hopefully that won't happen this time around. I do think that it is better to manually target it, to make it try to hit tiles that you don't have line of sight of, maybe kill potentially dangerous monsters that are just outside of your line of sight. Okie dokie. And yes, I mentioned the HP like drops pretty low pretty fast. Ooh, that's not good. What do you have today? Plate. Okay, plate and that's it. So, Hailstorm? What's the Hailstorm button? I've been casting it off the quiver so much that I don't really know what the button is. Okay, hide behind Ancestor. Maybe Idealize, but no, I can Firestorm instead. One more time? No, let's just wait for the Ancestor to kill the Tentacle Monstrosity. And now we're gonna rest to full HP, because I don't think I've been at full HP since I got into this level. Okay, now I am. Alrighty. A Ring of Slaying. This character unfortunately has no need for it, and even if I did want to use a Slaying, I already have a better Ring of Slaying. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to leave it on the floor. I saw a ruined hat, but I have the crown of Dairo Prueba. We don't need any more hats. What I want is a shield and globes. And yeah, it is completely non-essential to get those, but I wouldn't complain if I did end up getting them. Um, Disappointing. I was hoping for something good in that shop because it was an antique shop. So those have a better chance to give you randarts, and they also charge you more for things. But no randarts. What is that? Is that like, oh, it's just normal globes. Unfortunate. Okay, I am marked in bolts 5, so maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to escape the level. But I already killed like almost all of the level. But I still should be careful. No need to take unnecessary risks with this character. What am I trying to pick up? A potion of heal wounds. Okay, I do want that. No, 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 no. Okay, I don't want that. I don't want flame. I don't want silence. Definitely not with this character. No Buln. No torment. Not with this character. I don't want attraction either. I wish I could just toggle the turn off auto pickup for all the things that I have already selected. But yeah, I don't want to pick those things up again. Mm, okay, so I think we are good to go. Um, I guess I can also drop might. I don't see myself using it. Okay, 4 runes. Oh, armor shop. Did I see antique armor shop? Because that's very promising. I hope that I do end up getting something sweet from it. I'm gonna buy those. You never know when you're actually gonna need them. Robe of Vines! I can't believe it! Wow, it happened! This is the first time ever that I have the Robe of Vines as a gene, and of course I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna put it on. Congrats! Yeah, never have I gotten it before. The Robe of Vines tropes as it attunes itself to your uninjured body. So now we have 3.39 HP regen per turn. I could make it 4.39 with one amulet that I have on my inventory. So I lose resistance to negative and a chunk of armor class, but I should be okay because now if I am using brilliance, my firestorm costs like 2 HP. So it's really not an issue. Oh, look at that as well. 3% chance to miscast it. Unfortunately, that does mean that I kind of throw away 18 armor skill, but who cares? Who cares? We're good. Last time you had Row of Vines Gene, you splatted. This is the first time that I get it. I hope that I do not splat. If I splat, we're gonna call it the Shaper Curse. Just because you splatted and then I splatted. hmm So yeah, we should be fine. This is like the finishing part of the game, of course. No. Oh man. Streaming is enjoyable. I enjoy streaming. It is really a way to interact with people um, that I have never had before in my life, and it is fun. It is fun. In fact, the more I think about it, the more like I realize that streaming is indeed a thing that I should have probably started to do way earlier in my life because I always enjoy finding cool things on the internet and showing them to people. I don't do it on stream that often because the stream is about crawl, but whenever something that I have seen before is related to something that's happening with crawl, I sometimes show it and yeah, I like it. It makes me happy. Break the curse. I'm gonna try to break the curse indeed. We shall see how it ends up going. Let me be completely honest. I don't think this character is dying. I think it's extremely difficult for this character to splat. After all, it has Firestorm. Like it's a gene with Firestorm. I have it on the quiver at 3%. I don't think I'm splatting. Oh, I probably should have drank 3 there. I am carrying them precisely for that. How did you start with streaming? Well, I quit my job at a certain awful call center slash service desk in around July of 2019. Yes, July of 2019. And then I went and visited a cousin who was here. It is my cousin who lives in New York. So I went and visited him for a month. I kind of wanted to stay there, and obviously, in retrospective, I am very glad that I did not stay there. But that was kind of the plan. Unfortunately, it ended up not working out, and I came back to where I live in Mexico City. And yeah, I started looking for a job here. I kind of realized that it was just like cheaper to live here, and I was closer to my family, and it was just safer for me to be here, which was great hindsight now that I think about it. So yeah, I looked up some jobs, and I never heard back from them, or like I decided that it was not my thing. Mostly help desk, call center related things. So I would have been miserable even if I had indeed gotten in, and I don't think I would have lasted for very long. And well, time passed, and then February 2020, I was like, you know what? No one plays Scroll on stream. Like, no one plays Scroll on Twitch. And I have too much free time, and I like playing Crawl, so might as well stream Crawl. I don't lose anything by doing it. And the first couple of months were kind of rough. It took me like 2 months to become an affiliate. So, in case you don't know, the affiliate requirements are 50 followers, um, 7 streams in a month, and 8 hours of streaming. And an average of 3 viewers. Those are the requirements to become an affiliate. This is not a good situation. Mm, mhm. So it took me 2 months to achieve those requirements, which is pretty crazy if you think about what I have right now. Like, I obviously have way more than 3 average viewers, I have way more than 50 followers, and I have way more than 8 hours and 7 days streams per month, or 7 days streamed per month. I had the things that I could control like pretty much immediately, but the average viewers and the followers took 2 months because no one watches Scroll, and of course I was just starting back then, so no one came into the stream. I'm pretty sure today I have a couple of people that say, "Oh, it's like 8 p.m. It's Nine Settler stream time," and they just jump into the stream and they enjoy it. And I obviously appreciate the people who do that. Um, I appreciate it a lot, actually. It does mean a lot to me. Um, but back then I didn't have anything of that like. Um, so yeah, it took a while for me to reach affiliate, and but at least I made it, and now it's been like let's see here. I've been affiliate for 19 months. 19 months. So yeah, at the 22-month mark, it means that I've been streaming for 2 years, on and off, of course. The closest I've ever been to stopping the stream was during and shortly after I got my job at another awful call center. So it happened exactly what I thought that was going to happen. I got into the call center, it was miserable, and I couldn't handle it, and I quit after like a month. Um, yeah, I don't recommend anyone to ever work in a call center. It is the meaning of misery. It is as bad as it gets. Um, okay, so you're purple, so I cannot hex you like that, how I did with the red draconian scorcher. I don't like that too much because it doesn't hit the white draconian. But if I step here, wait, do you have a polearm? Okay, if I step here, I don't know if the yellow draconian steps here or here. But if it steps here, I can just starburst everyone and kill them. Alternatively, I could just step here, and I think it's almost guaranteed for this yellow draconian to step here, and that just lines them all up for starburst. You have a brother-in-law who loves call center work. The place he was working tried to make him follow dumb practices. So here's the thing. I enjoy helping people. In fact, I think of my stream as helping and entertaining people. Um, Maybe in more than a single way. Like, maybe I am helping you by cheering your day up. Maybe you don't particularly care too much about crawl, or what I'm saying just comes as a source of entertainment. I think of that as helping people. And I did that in call centers. I helped people, and I enjoyed helping people. What I did not enjoy was indeed those dumb practices, like the metrics. Oh, you arrived at work like 30 seconds late, or you took like half a minute of extra time when you went to the bathroom. No, we cannot have that. Like, that kind of thing is unreal to me that it exists and that it is tolerated by the people who unfortunately have to work call centers, because I'm pretty sure that most people would not deal with that if they had another choice. Um, I know that it was for me while I was working at my first call center. At first, I enjoyed it a lot, but then like I started to realize how it truly was, and like how slow progression was, even if you're like obviously outperforming your peers and that kind of stuff. It's just like not for me. Recall ancestor not needed, lol. Oh, I completely forgot about that, but I guess we can recall ancestor. It's about trust in a place where maybe a lot of people can't be trusted by their bosses. You've worked jobs that felt low trust. Yeah. Depending on what you do in your call center, you have to, or like, I can see situations where it is reasonable that you are not going to be trusted. Like, for example, in any job where you consistently handle credit card information, that kind of stuff, it is obvious that you're not going to be trusted, and that it would be responsible for you to be trusted. It would be responsible by your employer to trust you, because all that it takes is one bad person to take advantage of that trust, and then they're in a world of trouble. But in some works, like in my first call center slash service desk job, we had relatively low amounts of trust, and as a result of that, that actually made the job functions more difficult. Sometimes there were issues that we knew as to how to fix as a team when we got a call, and we were like, oh yeah, it's this, but we don't have the permissions to do it. Not because we didn't know how to do it, but because we were actually not permitted to do it, even if we could theoretically do it. I've had that happen. I had that happen a couple of times in that job, and yeah, it is always annoying, and it feels like a waste of time. That's also another thing that made me not want to continue working that job. The fact that I felt like everything was so inefficient because of bureaucracy. Um, so yeah, I just like helping people. Whenever there is ridiculous, unnecessary, unreasonable hoops to jump through to help people, I would just rather help people on my own. Not gonna lie. And so I ended up like quitting that terrible job, and I guess now I do the streaming thing, and with my savings from working those jobs, I invested on a friend's business, and that's what's been keeping me afloat these last years, I guess. Um, it is definitely a lower standard of living than I had before, but yeah, it is. It is living. You know, it could be way worse. I don't think I know anyone who has had it worse. I don't think I know anyone that like ever fell into like homelessness. Um, but it could be that, and like that is definitely a thing that happens for real. Maybe less so in Mexico, but it does happen. And yeah, I'm glad that I'm not in that position. That's what I'm trying to say here. And it's all thanks to you and my decisions in the past. And deciding to invest with my friend was a super good decision. Mm, yeah, it is funny because my family has a story of getting scammed by people. Like I think my grandfather was scammed by someone, and then my uncle was scammed by someone. A lot of people in my family have been scammed by placing too much trust in people who didn't deserve that trust. But in my case, I guess I have a good eye for judging people when it comes to that, and I was not scammed, and so yeah, yeah, not much to say not much else to say about that. Mm, Yeah, going back to the character, sorry for going on that very long tangent. Um, it is obviously like not really a character that I feel fearful of. It is fragile. It is ridiculously fragile, but it is also very, very powerful. It is in a lot of ways quite reminiscent of the Deep Elf. Um, yeah, do you remember that Deep Elf that I played before this character? I put it on YouTube. So the Deep Elf that I just put on YouTube, the Earth Elementalist, it felt very similar, except that instead of having Firestorm, it had Polar Vortex. But of course, Firestorm allows you to get away with being even squishier than the Deep Elf was. Yeah, because you don't have to be remotely close to the monsters to properly destroy them. Stories about trust are great. Valuable social capital. You read a book called The Speed of Trust. Yeah. I feel like when it comes to trusting people, I have a good assessment. But of course, the experience, like getting that a skill to know who to trust. Like it was kind of costly to me when I was younger. Of course, like if I look into it right now, even with my current situation, I would just laugh it off. But back then, it was like a significant thing that I got scammed off by someone who I thought was a friend. But I learned a lesson from that, and now I am more careful with my human interactions in general. So I ended up gaining something very important, in my opinion. That looks dangerous. Yeah, what is that transporter bolt with two? What is that? I don't wanna like. I'm not gonna enter, but that looks scary. Looks like something that you shouldn't mess around with. Mm, okie dokie. Sod roulette. Sod roulette. I guess that would be. Oh, look at that. There's another one. Yeah, I don't wanna mess with that. I don't know where I would land. Um, okay. Oh yeah, it feels so good to have Firestorm on the quiver. Yeah, I ended up not getting the cold resistance. I guess I don't need to wield the longsword anymore now that I have the robe of vines. Like the strength really doesn't do anything. So yeah, back to the staff of cold we go. Very fortunately, we got it in shoals very shortly after the stream started. We got it in shoals 4. Mm, and yeah, for a mage, this is being really fast. Like, take a look at that. 5 hours and 13 minutes. It's gonna be 5 hours and 30 minutes, quite probably. And then I don't know what character I would like to start. Of course, there's always the slight possibility of me dying here, but something makes me think that it's not gonna happen. I think I have the experience required to not die horribly with a character that has Firestorm on the quiver. Berserk Storm Dragon. Non Berserk Storm Dragon? That was weird. What happened there? Why was that guy Berserk and why did it become on Berserk so fast? Huh. Does the Ancestor gain something after experience level 19? Oh, at 24 it gains a broad axe of speed. And I'm still not sure if Speed Brand does something for monsters nowadays because of monster weapon attack delay things. I hope that it does. It would be quite an oversight if it didn't. No, no, no. We don't want to get hit. Why are Jinns immune to Flayed Ghosts? Because they are kind of like ghostly. Like you can look at the tile that I have right now. It's an Efreet. It is Azrael actually. Azrael is a unique Efreet. So they're kind of like gargoyles. They're not living, but they're not undead or zombies or something like that. Um, So in order for you to be affected by a Flayed Ghost, you have to be a living creature. I don't know if vampires, when they are alive, are affected by Flayed Ghosts. I guess they are because they are alive, right? But for sure, bloodless vampires are unaffected by that. And also gargoyles, players in statue form. There's a couple of ways for you to become immune to a Flayed Ghost. Most commonly, statue form will be that. Okay, SOT 5. I'm gonna map it, and we shall see what we have when it comes to traps. Magic mapping. Is this a SOT trap? It is. I thought that it would be an alarm trap. Okay, net trap here. A SOT trap there. Alarm trap here. So it is a complicated thing because there's a SOT trap here, so that makes it very likely for monsters to just step on it. On the other hand, there is a net trap here, so I would have to step on it. And the monsters can also trigger net traps. So very inconvenient set of traps, even if not immediately obvious. Yeah, you would think, hey, no, SOT traps or dispersal traps blocking the entrances to the vault. That's not so terrible. But no, it can go pretty bad. Let me exclude it. Net traps and dispersal traps are the nasty ones in SOT 5. And of course, as always, SOT traps. SOT traps can make it so that an otherwise ideal arena is one that you just cannot fight in because there's line of sight of a SOT trap, and that means that monsters are likely to step on it and potentially paralyze you, or petrify you, or banish you. You know, all the things that SOT trap does. SOT traps do. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. SOT traps do. Okay. We're doing well so far. Oh wow, okay, all the miscasts that I didn't have in SOT 1 through 4, we're having here in SOT 5. But fortunately I can just like retreat, and because I have the row of vines, I am at full HP in like 10 turns. You feel like you often get contaminated or mutated from SOT traps. I think a lot of the effect, or like I think it's very skewed in favor of contamination, because it gives spell miscasts also. So spell miscasts very often involve some degree of contamination. So that would be why it would be common. I think that's how they work. I think that's at least how they worked in the past. I don't know if that is how they work nowadays. After all, a lot of things that just checked spell miscasts got reworked when spell miscasts themselves got reworked. Mm, okay. Oof, this is looking pretty good, not gonna lie. Like, I feel unbeatable. Who needs Dragon Skull when I have Firestorm? I don't think I will ever cast Dragon Skull with this character. Haste? Brilliance? Double Acid? Oh no, Acid and Bolt of Fire. Okay, that's fine. Nope. Mm, Acid? Acid sounds not terrible. Dragon Skull is good to block line of sight when you run from Panlords on Ascension. I will keep that in mind. We shall see if it ends up being necessary. But I can see it being useful for sure, depending on what kind of Pandemonium Lord I end up having to fight against. I know that with Firestorm, I would be way less inclined to run away from them. Yeah, Firestorm just like actually provides me with the firepower required to fight them and kill them fast. Unless they have the 3 pips or 2 or 3 pips of fire resistance would make it so that I don't want to fight them. But if they don't have that, they will die super easily, and then I will continue. If they have it, I will definitely think about using Dragon's Call, maybe Brilliance Dragon's Call, because that hopefully reduces the amount of HP that a Dragon's Call costs me. That is my greatest concern when it comes to Dragon's Call, the fact that it bites so heavily into your HP as a Jin. Okay, these orbs of fire are kind of reluctant to dying, it seems. I guess it's understandable, they are immune to fire. So they're kind of like a nice preview of what a monster that is immune to fire looks like when you're firestorming it. It still dies, but it takes a while. Okay. Yeah, this has been as devoid of danger as it has been in a while. What character was it that I ninja'd the orb? I ninja'd the orb recently, which is not something that I normally do. I actively try not to do it, but I got teleported very close to the orb. I had like a million scrolls of blinking, and I just decided to just do it and then teleport out. And unfortunately, and it did end up working well, but it is definitely not something that I would like choose to do normally. This character is the complete opposite of that. I'm just killing everything, and this is definitely my preferred approach to SOT 5. Okay, I have Orb of Destruction, so I guess we can use it against the Orange Crystal statue. Good old 3 Orbs of Destruction, and the first one just one shot. Nice. Why? Oh, Exploration Base Trap. I think I want a Drink Cancellation. Yeah, being marked there is not a happy situation. It would be like entering Bolts 5 all over again. Sometimes the auto target places the explosion of Orb of Fire in a very weird position. Yeah, whenever there's 2 monsters next to each other, I feel like it sometimes places the explosion in a way that it only hits one monster for some reason. But I guess that's what I get for using the quiver. I don't know. I feel like the quiver shouldn't be suboptimal. I really do feel that, but sometimes it is. The whole point of the quiver is to make it easier to cast the spells, not be so annoyed by targeting. And yeah, the quiver is the reason why this character has taken not nearly as long as my usual spellcaster, because a vast majority of the things that I've killed in the game have been by pressing the quiver button, which used to be Hailstorm, and now it is Firestorm. Okay, so Stork, go fight the Orb of Fire. Did I get malmutated? Oh, I got frail. That's about as bad as it can get. I kind of want to get rid of it. Yeah, see that targeter trying to, or like targeting it in a weird way, just because it was too close to me. Okay, mutation. Robust. Willpower. Hey, willpower. So now I can wear this because I got willpower. Yeah, 2 pips of cold resistance. And also 20, 26, 14 defenses in a robe. Not bad, For a robe having 20 armor class, it's not terrible. But still, 20 armor class kind of feels like not enough to be impactful, so I probably shouldn't rely on it. It's kind of like evasion. Okay, we are almost done. We already have access to the orb, but I really do like to kill everything to not run into um, unwanted surprises on the way out. hmm So far, so good. Let's pick up the orb. And for my convenience, there is a permanent teleport trap next to the orb. So D0, Smoke Demon. How much resistance do you have? Oh, very resistant to fire. Hailstorm. Hailstorm. Okay, let's just get out. Yeah, it's also been a while since I kill everything in SOT altogether. I usually clear SOT 5, but not the entirety of SOT, and this character clears the entirety of SOT with barely any danger. Very resistant to fire. Hmm. Summon Vermin, Invisibility and Abjuration. This looks like our prime target for Dragon's Call. Is this rock? It is a stone. Tragic. If it was rock, I could just dig out. But no, we're gonna go ahead and use Dragon Storm. It is called Dragon Skull. Oh, it's Dragon Skull. Dragon Storm is the Magic the Gathering card that summons a dragon and has a storm. Very straightforward name if you think about it. Wow. Okay, the dragon, the golden dragon, just like straight up murdered that guy. That's crazy. Hailstorm, murdered dragon. Yeah, the golden dragon just like that was surprising. I didn't think that it was going to deal that much damage, but it certainly did. Oh, because of the fire clouds. Okay, yeah, because of the fire clouds. I have an ancestor. I guess I can put it to use. Wow, this guy hit me. I think it's this has to be like one of the first times I get hit since I enter SOT. Will this hurt me? I guess it will. Okay, it won't. Okay, let's just get out. No, I think I'm gonna kill some of these demons spawn. Why not? There we go. Now we can get out. Brimstone Fiend. Um, how's your opinion of Hep and Hep Knight? I like it. It literally made my game to go Hep. I guess I did get lucky because it was a Fatal Altar, but from that Fatal Altar I got the absolute best possible result, which was going Hep on a character, or like going Hep and getting an immediate, incredible power boost in a character that was barely functional until I got that power boost. As the game progressed, I had less and less need for Hep, but it was always very important because it blocked the path for monsters to come towards me, so I could hailstorm them for the entirety of the game. Of course, until I got Firestorm to a point where I could actually use that instead of Hailstorm. And if it was not for the fact that I went Hep, I wouldn't have been able to do that, and the character would have been way more complicated to win, or maybe even like not winnable, or not winnable by me. Yeah, I would have had to use awful things like Summon Forest and something like that. That would have been very, very painful. I think I cast it like twice in this game. Summon Forest. Okay. Pass wall. Yeah, let's cast pass wall. We're almost done. Hell Sentinel. That is a pretty dangerous thing to be fighting against. I wonder why auto travel is going in that direction. I guess the stairs are closer. You really like summon force, but it's more of a summon spell than damage dealer. I see. I guess I kind of agree. If you have to rely on summon force and only that to kill things, it will be a very miserable experience because the Dryad is very prone to suiciding. That's the Dryad's thing. Okay, we have won the game. Yeah, and very uncharacteristically, we won a game and we still have about 2 hours and a half of stream left. So what I'm going to do here is save, or rather win the game, and I'm gonna take a short break, and I will start a new character depending on what you want or what you are interested in taking a look at tonight. Yeah, just let me know and I'll start that character. So let's just go ahead and win the game. Yep. I like the character. I like the character a lot. And to win from a Fatal Altar, just because we got the absolute best possible thing that I could have gotten, was pretty sweet. I will definitely keep in mind Hep as a very reliable hard carry option for a Jin in the future. Row of Vines Curse broken. Yeah, we shall see what happens the next time you get it. I hope that you also manage to get a win the next time you get a Row of Vines on your Jin. Mm, so yeah, 5 hours and a half. That was very, very fast for a spellcaster. And we did 4 runes as well. We did Slime and Bolts 5, but we didn't do Crypt. And we also did Elf. So yeah, pretty fast character.